following podcast is a creep show. However, the individuals you're about to meet are idiots. Their opinions, anecdotes, and advice contain the same nutritional value as pasta. This is the human condition in all its strangeness. This is the internet according to an idiot. An idiot. An idiot.
Welcome back, everybody, for another.
Welcome back.
Welcome back for another Creepypasta. This time, I'm going to try to do two very short ones.
This time.
Excuse me?
This time.
So I found two ones that are weirdly enough high rated,
Okay.
considered like semi-classics based on the fact that they have, it's got a, what is this? This 10 star, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God, shit. Okay. It has a 7.7 out of 10 stars. It was ranked by 1.8 thousand people.
Okay.
That's quite a bit for this website.
That is quite a bit, yeah.
And this is called Dead Bart.
Oh.
And yes, it's Bart from The Simpsons.
Okay.
So this was first produced June 13th, 2010. So a ways back. Just so we get the theme of it, here are some of the hashtags associated with it. Television and lost episodes, deaths, murders and disappearances, strange unexplained, and The Simpsons. I'm going to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Fox has a weird way of counting Simpsons episodes? They refuse to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from season 1.
Whoa.
Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one was working on this show at the time.
What?
No one who was working... No.
Oh, okay.
No one who was working on the show at the time likes to talk about it. From what has been pieced together, the lost episode was written by Matt Groening, creator of The Simpsons. During production of the first season, Matt started to act strangely. He was very quiet, seemed nervous and morbid. Mentioning this to anyone who was present results in them getting very angry and forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt. The episode's production number was 7G44.
I'm just imagining someone's like, hey, have you seen Matt lately? He seems really skittish. He's like, stop it! Stop it! Don't talk about Matt like that!
Don't tell Matt about it! Ah.
Matt's fine!
Matt's fine. So the episode's production number was 7G44, and the title was Dead Bart.
Oh my God, this is scary already.
In addition to getting angry, asking anyone who was on the show about this will cause them to do everything they can to stop you from directly communicating with...
Communicating with who?
About this will cause them to stop you from directly communicating with Matt Groening. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd. Are you opening candy right now?
Sorry, I'm trying to, but I'm having such a hard time. Okay, so let's do a little role play situation. Mm-hmm. You're someone who works at the studio. I'm like an intern or something. Mm-hmm. Hey, I heard about this episode called Dead Bart. What's that about? I wanted to talk to Matt about it.
No. You can't talk to Matt.
I thought he was like... Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, don't blacklist me.
I'm sorry about that. You can't be talking to Matt about that. You have to promise me you won't talk about Matt about that.
Okay. Well, can you tell me about Dead Bart?
No, And scene.
I am impressed with how quickly you can make your face flush.
I do it all the time in the mirror. All right, so as we know, this is a mysterious episode where they don't want you to talk about it. And they also definitely don't want you to talk to the Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, about it. Mm-hmm. The story continues. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd, and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone as he was leaving the building. He didn't seem upset that I had followed him, probably expected a typical encounter with an obsessive fan. When I mentioned the lost episode though, all color drained from his face, and he started trembling.
Oh, he's like, no. No.
Yes. When I asked him if he could tell me any details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. He grabbed a piece of paper, wrote something on it, and handed it to me. He begged me never to mention the episode again. The piece of paper had a website address on it. I would rather not say what it was, for reasons you'll see in a second.
Whoa.
I entered the address into my browser, and I came to a site that was completely black, except for a line of yellow text. A download link. I clicked on it, and a file started downloading.
Ah.
Once the file was downloaded, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I had ever seen.
Matt Groener just fucked up my computer.
Worst virus I'd ever seen. System restore didn't work. The entire computer had to be rebooted.
Whoa.
Before doing this though, I copied the file onto a CD. I tried to open it on my now empty computer, and as I suspected, there was an episode of The Simpsons on it.
Whoa.
The episode started off like any other episode. The Simpsons, the clouds part. The episode started off like any other episode, but had very poor quality animation. If you've ever seen the original animation for Some Enchanted Evening, it was similar, but less stable. The first act was fairly normal, but the way the characters acted was a little off. Homer seemed angrier, Marge seemed depressed, Lisa seemed anxious. Bart seemed to have genuine anger and hatred for his parents. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. Near the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around, as you'd expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window on the plane and was sucked out.
Whoa.
At the beginning of the series, Matt had an idea that the animated style of the Simpsons world represented life, and that death turned things more realistic. This was used in this episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was barely recognizable. They took full advantage of it not having to move, and made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body.
Whoa.
Whoa. Act 1 ended with the shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge, and Lisa were sitting at their table crying. The crying went on and on. It got more pained and sounded more realistic, better acted than you would think possible. The animation started to decay even more as they cried, and you could hear murmuring in the background. This crying went on for all of Act 2.
Can you shut up? I'm trying to cry.
Act 3 opened with a title card saying 1 year had passed. Homer, Marge, and Lisa were skeletally thin and still sitting at the table. There was no sign of Maggie or the pets. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was I'm getting overwhelmed. Springfield was completely deserted, and as they walked to the cemetery, the houses became more and more decrepit. They all looked abandoned. When they got to the grave, Bart's body was just lying in front of his tombstone, looking like it did at the end of Act 1. The family started crying again. Eventually they stopped and just stared at Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to summaries, Homer tells a joke at this part, but it isn't audible in the version I saw. You can't tell what Homer is saying. The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstones in the background had the name of every Simpsons guest star on them, some that no one would have heard of in 1989.
Whoa.
Some that haven't been on the show yet. For guests who died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would die. You can try and use the tombstones to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there's something odd about most of the ones who haven't died yet. All of their deaths are listed as the same date. And that's the end of the story.
Whoa.
Now, there is an episode, a YouTube like, ah!
Is it?
I just clicked on the link and it was the loudest, scariest sound I've ever heard, which is why I just made that sound.
What did it sound like?
Woo! That was scary. That was loud. That was a jump scare.
You got jump scared.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so there's a video. I think maybe it's just a recreation of it.
What was the sound that you just heard?
I'll send you a link.
Oh, Christ. Okay.
Oh, it's loud again. I can put it in the chat on this.
Yeah, we send it in the chat.
All right. Okay.
This like story just kind of makes me think of like if someone made a creepypasta about Doodle Bob.
You got the link?
Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me put me back front and center.
So we'll go ahead. I'll play for the people for Patreon. I will play the full video. I'll download it and play it right here. So you can just see the, like, I think this is like an recreation.
Ugh.
It has 405,000 views.
Oh my god, there's people defending it. Like, obviously this is not the real one. This is just an example.
So we'll call this an artist representation. Recreation. Let's go to the comments on the Creepypasta Wiki and see the consensus, shall we?
Okay, yeah.
Jude the Wizard says, dude, I go to Comic-Con. I mean, Phoenix Fan Fusion, parentheses, name sucks, every year. And if the creator of The Simpsons is there, I'm going to ask him about it.
Oh my god. He's going to be like, it's just a dumb fucking myth.
Well, no, he's going to lose all color and go, please don't talk about this. And then write a web address on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone says, this was one of the saddest moments in Simpsons. Next comment, there's a gif of a very sad looking baby cat. It had said, what did Bart do to deserve this?
Oh my god.
And then the next comment by Silent Girl. It's the reality of the cartoon, ... And the reality is quite sad.
Oh, okay.
Someone says, my condolences, Bart. And then my favorite comment. Ben Drowned 666 says, it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah,
That was all right.
Eh.
So that's Dead Bart. Let me quickly jump to the other one I was going to read you guys.
The Simpsons will be right back.
Also equally short. And this one is called Eyeless Jack from January 5th, 2013.
I remember seeing this one.
This is an 8.7 out of 10, and that's from 12,000 votes.
Okay. Wow.
And there's a picture associated with this. It says here, in most depictions, Eyeless Jack wears a blue mask and hoodie. There are two cavernous black holes where the eyes should be, while the rest of his facial features are either missing entirely or only suggested in shape. The image most commonly associated with the character is a photograph taken from below, as if looking up at a blank-faced figure with only two gaping holes where his eyes should be. This photograph, which predates the production of the actual story of Eyeless Jack was created on November 19th, 2009 by two DeviantArt users, Nick TZ408 and Pirate Cashew.
Yeah, this picture's scary.
The image was then posted by a user calling himself Aaronon amongst a collection of creepy images, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, this is like iconic, classic creepypasta. When was it posted?
Well, the image was first posted in 2010, and the story was in 2012.
Okay.
So, Eyeless Jack. Hello, my name is Mitch.
Huh?
I'm here to tell you guys about what an experience I had.
Oh, God.
I don't know if it was paranormal or whatever stupid words people use to describe supernatural phenomena, but after that thing visited me, I believe in that paranormal trash now.
Wow, Mitch is already very likable.
Yeah, I love this guy. A week after I moved in with my brother Edwin, after my house was foreclosed, it tells a lot, I finished unpacking. Edwin liked the idea of me moving in since we had not seen each other for 10 years. So I was excited too. I soon fell asleep after I moved in. After that week, I heard rustling noises coming from outside at about 1 a.m. I thought it was a raccoon, so I ignored it and tried to fall asleep.
This story so far just feels like a bullet list.
Yeah.
Okay, so house foreclosed, unpacking, fell asleep,
Yeah.
raccoon.
This is a man who has never written out his thoughts before. He's new to this. The next morning, I told Edwin about it, and he agreed. That it was a raccoon, I assume? I agree, you heard something. The next night, however, I thought I heard my window opening and a loud thump, as if something entered my room. I darted up and looked around my room, but I saw nothing. The next morning, Edwin dropped his coffee cup when he saw me. He held up a nearby mirror, and I saw myself. I had a large gash on my left cheek. After I was rushed to the hospital, my doctor told me that I must have been sleepwalking, but then he showed me something that made my blood turn cold. He lifted up my shirt to reveal a sewn-up incision where my kidneys were.
What?
I like how his doctor had to show him this and he had no idea.
You must have been sleepwalking and cut out your kidney.
I stared into his eyes, mine widening. You somehow lost your left kidney last night, my doctor told me. We don't know how, though. Sorry.
Maybe you should contact the police.
We don't know how, though. Sorry, Mitch. Great doctor. The next night was my breaking point.
It wasn't losing your kidney?
No, or the gash on your face. Man, these raccoons are crazy.
Why do they even want kidneys?
What would they do with a man's kidney? The face gash, I understand. The organs, I just can't wrap my mind around. Anyways, the next night was my breaking point. Around midnight, I woke up to see a truly horrifying sight. I was staring face to face with the creature with a black hoodie and a dark blue mask with no nose or mouth staring down at me. The thing that scared me the most was that it had no eyes, just empty black sockets. The creature also had some black substance dripping from its sockets. I grabbed the camera from the nearby mantle.
What? Okay.
Just my nearby room mantle.
Priorities.
And I took a picture. Immediately after taking the shot, the creature lunged at me and tried to claw open my chest to get to my lungs.
Oh my God. He's like, just a little taste.
I stopped it by kicking it in the face. As I ran out of my room, I grabbed my wallet. I would need the money. I ran out of my brother's house into the night. I eventually ended up in the woods near Edwin's house and tripped on a rock. I fell unconscious.
I just saw the spit fly out of your mouth at that one. I'm imagining this guy in like an AA style meeting. He's like, hi guys, I'm Mitch. That's not important. So there I was. I kicked it in the face. I grabbed my wallet. I would need the money. And I ran out of there. I fucking ran, and then I tripped on a rock, but I kept running. No eyes, no mouth.
Goo out of the sockets. I grabbed, obviously, take a picture, kick it in the face, grab my wallet. I'm out of there in the woods.
Edwin, I don't give a fuck about him.
Yeah. As far as I was concerned, I had no brother.
But I had money, and that's important.
Yeah, because he'd already not seen him for 10 years.
You're right.
So what's another decade? So he trips on a rock. I fell unconscious and woke up in the hospital. My doctor, the same one who treated me before, entered the room. I have good news and bad news, Mitch. My doctor started. The good news is that you had minor injuries and your parents are going to pick you up.
How old is this man?
I don't know. I sighed with relief. The bad news is that your brother has been killed by some thing. Sorry.
Good news, buddy. You got a little scratches. Your parents are coming. They're gonna come grab you. Bad news. Brother dead.
Brother's dead by the hands of some unidentified entity. And last thing the doctor says, sorry.
Sorry, but you got both your you got one kidney.
And no brothers. My parents took me back to Edwin's house to collect my remaining belongings, which I did. Upon entering my room, I was scared, but remained calm. I grabbed my camera, then stopped dead in my tracks. In the hallway, leading to my room, I saw Edwin's body and something small lying next to it. I retrieved it up and entered my parents' car. Not mentioning Edwin's corpse. I looked at the thing I had picked up and nearly vomited. I was holding my stolen, half-eaten kidney with some black substance on it.
Why did he want it? You're just like, I'm gonna sneak in, have my little snack on me, go for the lungs, and then kills the brother. The police apparently are not concerned, don't want to take the corpse.
The body is just gonna stay there.
It just stays there.
Because there's no crime. Clearly a monster killed this man. So we only deal with human murders. So if a human is murdered by a monster, we don't touch that.
But
And also the parents didn't care.
Right. The police just called the doctor and was like, hello, doctor. Brother dead.
Well, somebody found him in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Because he woke up in the hospital. And it wasn't his brother. It was somebody. Maybe it was a monster.
But then who found the brother dead?
Who? Okay, so he trips. So first timeline of events. Moves in with his brother.
Yeah.
Family reunion. He falls asleep that night. He wakes up. He sees the monster. And then does he pass out?
He hears noises, gets a gash.
Yes, wakes up with a gash.
Loses a kidney.
And then goes to the hospital, finds out not only did he lose a kidney, but it was sewn back up.
Mm-hmm.
So this monster has the ability to sew somebody up.
The next night, sees the monster, takes a photo, grabs wallet, runs, trips, unconscious. He wakes up, doctor's like, good news, you still have one kidney. Bad news, your brother's dead. But how do they know that he's dead?
Well, clearly the police had reported it. Here's what probably happened. So while Edwin was being murdered, the neighbors heard that, called the police. Police show up to the house. They find Edwin. They say, this is a monster attack. We're not going to take the body. Legal purposes. And they search around the property for the monster. While they're searching around the property, they find an unconscious Mitch. Mm-hmm. They take Mitch to the hospital. They inform the hospital staff. This is a person who is involved in a murder case that we aren't going to investigate because it was a monster. The hospital staff says, we understand monster attacks do not fall under
your jurisdiction.
And then it's up to the doctor to then inform Mitch that what has happened to him, and unfortunately his brother's dead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Edwin's house, meanwhile, will be foreclosed upon, and it's up to the next buyer to dispose of the corpse.
Right.
Per monster law.
Kidney is still up for grabs.
That's up to Mitch under monster law to retrieve at his own risk.
Put it on ice, good as new.
Now, had he left his wallet in the house, that would have triggered the wallet loophole in monster law.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have had to investigate the entire crime, but they didn't have to.
Right. Because monsters love money.
Yes.
Would have been distracted enough to get caught.
Because then it's also a financial crime.
Right.
So, very tragic tale. I really hope that Mitch is okay.
Is that the end of the story?
That's literally the end of the story.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ah!
Also, the credit is to A Zelf 5000, aka Thunder Joey.
You did it again, Thunder Joey.
Let's go down to the comments. Okay.
What are these comments?
Very sober-minded comments. Top comment. Amy says, "This could have been so much better. It felt rushed and unrealistic."
Amy's never read a creepypasta before.
And then, Eyeless Jack, user Eyeless Jack replies, "I like how the doctor just says, well, looks like you lost a kidney there. Sorry, have a good day."
In my head, this isn't like literally how it happened. This is just his retelling of how he interpreted these conversations. Like the doctor's probably like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. We don't know how this happened." But then when he's retelling it, he's like, the doctor's like, "Yeah, sorry."
I think it was literal. I think it was a transcript. And then someone replies to that comment saying, "No, I think the doctor has a connection with Eyeless Jack." Which would explain this neat sewing of the whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so in response to Eyeless_Jack, another commenter responds, and their name is IRL Eyeless Jack. And they just respond with a ... And then somebody responds to that saying, "Eyeless Jack, meet Eyeless Jack. And Eyeless Jack, meet Eyeless Jack." Unrelated comment that comes out of nowhere, but is so true to the creepypasta community. They must be responding to some comment I can't see. But they said, "You're so pretentious, and all you're doing is appealing to the rest of this misguided audience who doesn't even know what they want out of life. If you're reading this right now, these characters are meant to be scary, not to be lovable and hot. Go outside more often, why don't you?"
Wow.
Most of these comments are shitting on it, which is nice.
It's a change of pace. Yeah.
Here's one comment by a user named Username. "I might be gusting blood from my kidneys." Yeah.
Relatable.
That was Eyeless Jack. And at some point, I assume we've already showed it, the picture that inspired this story.
Mm-hmm. The picture is creepy.
Yeah, the picture's pretty creepy.
Two classics, Dead Bart and Eyeless Jack. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support of our Patreon. We appreciate you guys. Let us know if there's any creepypastas you want us to cover that we haven't so far.
If there's any smut you want us to read.
Maybe some smut creepypasta. I'm sure there's a converted somewhere.
Ooh,
that'll be your job, Mo.
What if we just start doing like Wattpad fanfics of different like cryptids?
Search for it. It seems like that's your freaking ball game.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm excited.
Cool.
We're going to do that next.
Love it. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. As I already said, thank you so much. And we will see you
in time.
In time.
Wow.
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 All right, bye, guys.
We love y'all.
Bye.